Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Jay Alvarez. We got a doubleheader at Kyalami here for you. The track is fast. Temps are 21 degrees with 8 kilometer per hour winds. We are at the end of free practice going into a quali sesh, and it's going to be a 30-minute race followed by practice, quali, and then an hour-long race. This is the GT3 series, as we have a lot of our drivers are already in. We have 38 total that have decided to join us this time around. We're going to quickly go into the team standings here. As you can take a look on screen, we have the Southern Star Motorsports team with 232 points in the team standings there. They're winning. IDRF in a close second with 225. Adidas Parlay in a close third with 219, followed by fourth place Panzer Wallmortar with a 177. Flying Lizard Porsche with 163. Nest Motorsports with 149, and the BRB Racing with 129. Now, the thing about the BRB Racing is they have three really strong contenders that have just had some unfortunate incidences in the first two races, and then that we've had on Sunday already. So it'll be interesting to see where these guys pan out on that on this next race. We have followed by Path Motorsports in 8, uh, DR DIR Racing in 9, RDH Racing in 10. 11th is McLovin McLaren Motorsports, Omega Racing in 12, Azuri Racing in 13. Tied in fourth place is Morton Salt McLaren, and they are also going to be tied with the Incident Collectors and Iron Force Racing with 12 points each to each of them. With 17th place, the Avanti Competizione. 18th is Turtle Track Simsport, and 19th is the Underdog Racing. And we'll go into the driver standings here as
Green light. Go, go, go.
I'll quickly transition. We're still 10 minutes free quality has just started, but I'm just going to quickly go over the driver standings. We have Riley Manier in P1, Honored Sundar in P2, Josh Willis P3, Sundar P4, Mike Burkhoff P5, Ed Kerstetter in P6, Aaron Pickerel in P7, Jay Allen P8, Daniel Caslassi P9, Constable Cody Wasma P10. Going down, we have 11, 12, 13. Got Ness Motorsports in 11, 12. That's good for them. We got Provolone in 14, Chronotis in 15. Sorry about that. Free was in 13. Miller in 16, McConnell in 17, Grow Havenborn in 18, Drolleman in 19, and Moscato is in 20. That's a tiebreaker, though. As we'll continue down, you can see there's a couple tiebreakers with Raza, Nybor, Vassal, Bravo, Jin, Borio, Barrera, Reggie King, Mansilla, Spool, and even further down the list, we got a lot of drivers in this competition. We have Eric Cassian, Otto, Morrison, Frias, Shurik, Rogers, Oak, Rose, Rogers, Kayap, and at the very end, on the 49th place, we have a bunch of people tied for third, or for 35th. That's 3 points each to Roscoe, Buckley, Harris, Chen, Vandy. Then we have Engelman, Train, Chan, and Ward, all the way at the end there. So we'll go back into it. Let's go to see who's out first. We got a lot of drivers that came out here. We got car number 22. As it stands, looks like that's going to be... I'm going to hazard a guess that this driver is going to be the driver in front. We have car 42. Number 42 is Chronotis. He's still on his outlap, so Josh Willis is going to be leading us on this this in lap here, as he's the first to go across. As you can see, a lot of yellow flags happening. That's a lot of drivers slowing down so everyone can get a little bit of a pace. It is going to be a congested track with over 38 people able to make it. Mike Burkhoff coming in at the last minute, I think. Let's take a look. No. It's not. All right. We only have 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go on this qualifying. And this is the first driver that's going to be coming across the line right now. And that is Josh Willis, who is still in a good valid lap. And he's going to be crossing line just now. He goes 142.8 with Richie Girolamo right behind him with the 144.2, going faster than him. We're going to quickly transition that open so you can see here. We got some spots opening up as Daniel Kazlowski goes 142.4, splitting those two drivers right now in the middle. We have Southern Star Motorsports in P2 so far, with Richie Girolamo standing on pole. We're going to see who goes across. We have Andy Oak going across at 146.6. We have Riley Manier with a 142.2, just beating out Richie Girolamo by 0.04 of a second. Yeah, somewhere on those lines. Math is hard, people. Diego Moscato going across the line with a 143.4. Honorud Sundar with a 143.3. Then we have Lindauer with a 143 flat by McKeesey and with a 142.8. Wow, this is impressive times. These are the only drivers right now that have come across the line with valid laps. We have Ray Free is coming across the line shortly as he's going to be rounding that final couple corners. Oh, we have Nybor going up with a 144. This track is heating up. This lineup is just all over the board. I'm not sure who to believe. What's going to stay and stick? We have the Chan going P19, gets beat out. Now he's P20 again. Mitch McConnell going up there, P6. He gets up to the top rankings there. We have Ray Freese going across the line. He only gets P19. We have a hot lap here with Chris McKeesey. He's about 5 seconds, half a second off his best time. He's going to be pulling that really good delta as long as he goes through that final sector with some good pace. He's going to outbeat Josh Willis, Cass Lassie, and Riley Manier. He's not being held up. A little bit slower through that. No, quicker. He's 0.6 off his time right now as Chris McKeesey is going to be going across the line. He goes P3. Look at that. What an upset. As Richie Girolamo takes P1 with a 141.7, beating Riley Manier through Sector 1 and through Sector 3. No, then we have Aaron Free coming out of nowhere with the Flying Lizard Motorsports going fourth fastest with a 142.4. And McKeesey goes into the pits. He's going to call it quits on that. We got 3 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock here. That's qualifying ending for that driver. We have Daniel Kazlowski going 0.3 above his time. He will outbeat Free. He may even outbeat McKeesey, who's already gone to the pits, as he's gone through that second sector pretty well. Now he's finishing up at Sector 3 right now. Just started Sector 3. Let's see what happens. Daniel Kazlowski from Southern Star Motorsports is in the lead in the team standings right now with the Adidas Parlay close behind in fourth place, I believe. Third place. Split between two Ferrari teams. As Daniel Kazlowski is the closest driver going across the line with a good pace. Aaron Freese 0.3 off his time, but he's behind. Daniel Kazlowski takes P2. Look at that with a 142 flat. Wow, he's not even fastest through any of the sectors, but he still comes up with P2. Riley Manier, fastest through Sector 3, is still holding Sector 2 as the fastest time. As we have Aaron Free going to be rounding that final corner down the straight. He's got 0.2 off his time. We can see him pulling out of somewhere. Andrew Pickerel coming out of nowhere with a fifth place position with a 142.4. Aaron Free able to go fourth fastest. He beats out McKeesey. He goes 142.3. We have... What other drivers do we have here? We have Mike Burkhoff. Mike Burkhoff's coming through Sector through Sector 3 right now, and he is P13 right now, but he has got about four tenths off his time right now. That's going to push him up really far, actually. It's going to put him in the top 10 for sure. Oh, and there you have it. Mike Burkhoff going P5. That's a great standing for him. Anywhere on this. We have Mitch McConnell rounding the corner. He's already got a full second off of his delta. Let's see where he comes out on this. From P16, he goes P2! Wow. Riley Manier is down significantly from his pole position start. Mitch McConnell takes P2 with 141.8. Riley Manier is going across that final sector into that final straight through this corner. He's 5 tenths off his time. He's definitely going to pull away, maybe retaking P1. Maybe taking pole position right here. And there you have it. Riley Manier of the Adidas Parlay takes pole position with a 141.6. Going fastest through sector 2 and 3. We have Mitch McConnell going a couple tenths higher on his time right now as he still has time to qualify. We have 40 seconds left on the clock. We have Aaron Free, who's about to round that corner. And he takes P3 off of that. So he jumps up a couple places on that one. As we have the closest driver coming up to us right now is Ali Raza. Jumps ahead to P10 with his time. And then we have Eric Miller. No, sorry, Ed Kerstetter here. He goes P6. Just crosses the line. He has enough time to go for one more lap. So good on for Ed for the 949 Sim Racing team getting up there. So the closest driver we have right now that's going to be a major upset. I don't see any deltas really popping here. We have Ray Frias. He's got about 4 tenths off his time. Will that be enough to push him out of the no points and into points? He's 23 right now, and he goes to P19. Anirudh Sundar is still on a good lap. He's definitely going to have to pull out somewhere. Anirudh Sundar is one of those drivers that you would see in the top 5 consistently. So the fact that he's sitting there in 15th right now is very troublesome. He's one of the only drivers that's still going to have a go at this. We have, before we get back to him, we have Crow Havenborn going across the line, going through that final corner. He's about 2 tenths off his time. And he goes a couple positions further up. Anirudh Sundar getting no time through Sector 2, losing it through Sector 3. I don't believe he's going to be able to pull off anything miraculous here as we are finding the end of quali. He's 2 tenths off his time. And he goes P12. And that is the last driver. No. Oh, we have oh, Jesus. I hate to see that at the end of qualifying. Eric Cassian taking the end of that quali in some style. We give him some style points for that one. And there you have it. It's the end of qualifying. This is going to be a start of a 30-minute race followed by the double header of the hour-long race. We have Riley Manier in P1 with a 144.6. Ooh! Now that is what I would like to see. Rain, rain, rain. Track is damp. Temps are 28 degrees on the track, 23 off track. We got heavy rain plus heavy rain for the 3-minute and 10-minute mark. This is going to be a wet race. It's going to be a cloudy race. And there is nothing better than seeing that happen. Okay. Just making sure that my audio was on. It looked like it was a little low. About even, a little bit more. So there you have it. You have Richie Girolman Riley Manier, Adidas Parlay, sporting pole position. They are on the front row. Adidas Parlay right there. That's Flying Lizard by Path Motorsports in the background. Southern Star Motorsports, and then the 949 Sim Racing, followed by the BRB Club by Nest Motorsports in the background. Flying Lizard, Panzer Wall Molder. Take a good look at that livery. It was also crashed a little bit. And then we have a Boatley, the Penrite. That's probably Reggie King right there. I believe that's Reggie King. Or that's Ali Raza. No, that's Ali Raza. The IDRF team coming in hot. They're P12 with Sundar. We have another Southern Star Motorsports. These drivers need to maintain some good points. Staying in the standings of the top 10 is going to be crucial for Southern Star as they are leading this right now. Another Flying Lizard. This is the best finish for these drivers. The Flying Lizards are now at the top of the pack. Previously, they have not been. So that's good for them, as we have Chronotis sitting at the Adidas Parlay in P16 with Pfaff Motorsports behind next to him. Another BRB club, the IDRF of Constable Cody Wassam. And then you have a Morton Salt, Team Morton Salt, and the McLaren back there. And then this is Iron Force Racing in P20. And then we have two additions from the last race. That is the Rogers brothers, Demetrius and Demarcus Rogers. So a couple brothers. We'll see the other drivers shortly. Nest Auto Motorsports right there, another Canadian. Yikes. Then we have an American Classic, Texas. That is a Southern Star Motorsports team. And then we have Mansilla in a very nice livery of his own. Then IDRF again. We'll take a look at McLaren McLovin Motorsports. Another Boatley for you. That little Penrite. I believe that's Erica Cassian in that Panzer Wall Molder. And I forget what the team name of this is, but they have a really good livery. Nice little section right there. Iron Force right in front of you again. Avanti. Another one of the brothers. Oh, a couple. Azuri Racing. And then McLovin. And then a couple Morton Salts. So good for them. Let's get racing. This is going to be a full formation lap. And hopefully the audio levels sound a little bit good. I wasn't quite sure. They're not great. Feel free to let me know. The driver should sound somewhat similar to my own voice. And that is Austin Chen. I don't know that driver, but they have replaced Mike Naus with another Morton Salt. That's something. And bear with me, guys. I don't pay this camera operator that much money, so of course he's going to be a little slow on those transitions. We are going to be starting this shortly. I'm going to switch to a helo cam. And I will be man, looks like this helo cam's zoomed in a little bit. Give it a moment. I believe, and I'm predicting, as the commentator's curse is going to be in full effect, a massive carnage-like proportions of insane penalties being thrown out to all the drivers who decide to brake late and slam into everybody going through that first left-hander. There's 16 corners on this track. It's very it's a lot of variety of this track, as there's a lot of hills and downslides to this, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay, here's the better helo cam now. We're going to stay on board with Mitch McConnell, as I believe that this is going to be the best avenue of what's going to happen through this first corner. We'll pull back a little bit once we see what ends up happening, as we see both those Adidas Parlay take the both inside corner, taking that defensive line. Good for them. As Kersetter takes that outside line, yeah, I think it's because, we're clean, clean, clean. Still clean. Oh, there's a little bit of an incident. Oh, that's a couple of them. Oh, no. Diego Moscato gets out of that, but Cronotis, oh, jeez. Oh, man. A bunch of cars are collected in that incident. That is unfortunate. It's going to take a second. So we have Josh Willis battling out with Southern Star Motorsports there. These are the drivers that are still somewhat clean. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's able to save it. They give it back to him. That's Daniel Kaslassi and Josh Willis fighting with Anirudh Sundar sitting right behind that driver. Oh, his Constable Cody Wassam also is hit. He's off track. We have two drivers that are already gone into the pits. He's a lot of tight driving through this upper midfield. We got drivers. Oh, and one of the Rogers brothers has a drive-through penalty already. That could be off the starting lineup. I wasn't quite sure if that... I didn't see that drive-through penalty off the start, so it might have been... Oh, no. Another driver, Anirudh Sundar, has a massive amount of damage to that back end. So we're going to see Daniel Kaslas get really close to Josh Willis through this corner. So he keeps it pretty tight. We have Riley Manier and Richie Girolamo holding P1 and 2 pretty steadily, with a gap for 1.7 seconds away from Aaron Free. And Mitch McConnell another 1.8 seconds behind him. Ed Kersetter with the best line, staying on that outside line, sticks P5 and holds it, with Chris McKeesey in P6 just behind him by only half a second. We have Josh Willis half a second behind that driver. And then we have Daniel Kaslas really being aggressive towards Josh, and he's only half a second behind that driver. And we have more incidents coming out of the woodwork here. I don't even know what to say. There are drivers still in some massive issues. That's a Azuri Racing that looks like to have some damage on Jose Bravo. Oh, as an Iron Force is sitting on the side of the road. That is car number 40 of Rigby. We have Jason Provone coming from P19, only losing one spot to another driver so far. I think he just regains P19 from Moscato there, so that's good news for him. Going back up, we have... Let's get on board on this. We have DeMarcus Rogers really in a tight formation with only 2/10 off of each driver in this lineup right now. They're holding a train going through this corner. You hope no one makes a mistake. Looks like he's pretty tight through that. Double yellow, double yellow. That is a drive. Oh, no! That is something you don't want to have to avoid. And he loses a bunch of positions to a bunch of drivers right there. That is unfortunate for DeMarcus Rogers there. Whoa. There has been a lot of tense things happening. People are not being able to control their vehicles right now. It is wet conditions, only getting further wet as we go along. It's a good save, Malky. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that for Tracklicious Sim Racing. We have 3 different seasons going on. GT3 is on right now. GT4 is on Thursdays, and then the Porsche Cup's on Saturdays. Yeah, that was a great save by that driver, but you don't want to see that when you're going across that. But that double yellow was any indication. Oh no, we have some trouble in the backfield already again. This car number 777. That's Ray Frias going down the lineup. Oh man, you hate to see it. He started pretty strong in the midfield, and he is now in the back. We have Diego Moscato just breathing down that. Is he going to take this inside corner? No, he stays pretty on the outside, or in a good line, but this is a driver that has a lot of fast pace, so the fact that he's sitting in the midfield might not sit well with him. As you can see damage on a lot of these cars, including his own. Oh no, car number 6. No, it's not car number 6. Car number 9? Well, there is a car off somewhere in this lineup. We're still clean. I mean, not really that clean. It's been touch and go on the cleanness. But I blame the wet conditions. We have Reggie King, wondering if he's going to try to make a move on these drivers. So one of them sends it too deep. It looks like that Barrera has some damage in the in a head there. As Norman Chan's right on his backside. Reggie King going in. Then we have Jason Provolo and Moscato right there. These drivers are within 0.3 of each, or 1/10 of each other. As you can see already, they're going through that really. And Reggie King gets dipped on the inside with that overtake from Moscato. Because now Moscato's going to try to have a go at another driver. Cornotis in the backfield of these drivers is also going to go side by side with Provolone. As they go too wide through that, cleaning it up. Oh, and there you have it. Cornotis gets ahead of Provolone and keeps it. Good job there. As you can see some damage on that front end. That is not part of the livery, folks. That is actual damage. Diego Moscato is gonna make a move. Where's it gonna happen? You can see he's getting a little on edge. Oh no! Oh, is he gonna give that position back? He should. He tapped that driver. We go to the incidents log here. We have car number 54 just involved in a incident with car number 9, and that is Norman Chan. As we have another Eric Ucassian in P20 just went off through that corner, that fast right-hander. Oh no! Norman Chan is in the wall. That's unfortunate. No, he goes into the pits. We have Jed Engelman. Yeah, it was a little bit of too much impatience there. Jed Engelman is less than half a second off of this driver, Path Motorsports, Mitch McConnell, who qualified really well. So seeing Mitch McConnell already drop in the backfield is it's quite, it doesn't make sense. Let's see here. We got Ed Kerstetter here from the 949 Sim Racing. He's going to have a go at Chris McKeesey of Nest Motorsports. And driver number 6 is off on a double yellow. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is Matt Morrison of Iron Force. He has dropped into the pits. Yeah, we have 9 minutes 9 minutes into this race, and people are already calling it. It's unfortunate, but sometimes those are circumstances based on what's going on. Rusho 900, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. from everyone at Tracklicious Sim Racing. I'm just one of the commentators, one of the main ones for this series as well as the GT4 series. I will bail out on this cam view as I thought it was going to be a little bit more contentious. These drivers look to be really close together, as we have a lot of different things happening on the field right now. There's a good number of people still in this race. 36 people are still in the race, so we have Mansilla going side by side with Ward of the Zuri. Oh no! And they just bump each other. It looked like he had too much speed. And that is Ward off in the corner, not regaining his position, with Andy Oak of the McLaren Motorsports and Rigby. Oh no, Rigby is off on the side. What happened to Rigby? Car number 40 is in sector. It looks like he just has too much damage. We will pull away from Rigby. Oh. Rigby's pulling it together. And he's, yeah, something like that. Upset you lost to. Thank you for the follow. Everyone at Tracklicious Sim Racing appreciates it. We have Barrera, 16. We have King right behind him. Provolone right behind him. There are 3 drivers, 4 drivers, 5 drivers, all neck and neck. All these drivers are fighting for a position as Parker Nybor in the back end with the McLaren Motorsports is sitting in the end of this train, but all these drivers are fighting for a position as Chronotis is just ahead of them in P15. That is a couple wide through that corner. And I believe we're going to see Jason Provolone of the Southern Star Motorsports try to make a go at Barrera. Jed Engelman is side by side going into that first corner. He's going to pull it off. He's got that inside. No, he doesn't have the inside line for the next. He almost had that. He was going for an overtake right there. Back to Barrera. We have Jason Provolone right behind him. I feel a wreck coming too. There's still wet conditions. No, it's going to continue to be wet. In the next 10 minutes, it's going to lighten up a little bit, but the track is still damp. I believe Provolone is going to be keeping it safe, but this driver is no cheese. He's definitely going to get in there and take that position from Barrera. He needs points for his team, as they are leading the team standings through the GT3 series right now. Will he make a move? That's the real question. Oh, thank you. Somebody caught that one. Somebody caught that one. Okay. It's my only one for the night. It should be an interesting thing to note is that car in 17th place right now, Barrera, has a lot of damage to not only his back intakes, but his front side, as well as the left driver's side door. So that driver is fighting not only for this position, but he also has a lot of damage. Damage that we don't know. And here we see this clean overtake as he's going to take that inside line, as long as he gets to the outside on that. And we even see another driver, DeMarcus Rogers, going at him as well. He overtakes takes one of those drivers right there. Yep. Oh, no, Nybor was still behind him. So good, clean move from Provolone as we see Jed Engelman still fighting for position against Diego Moscato. Oh, these drivers are still so close. That is 3 of them that are literally going almost too wide through that. Oh, no. He taps Barrera. Parker Nybor gives him the old 1-2, and that driver is off, dropping down to P20. Parker gains a position off that. Oh, I hate to see it. And we have Ollie Raza of the Boatley RHD Racing in that Penrite Bentley sitting in P9 attacking Mike Burkhoff in the BRB Club with Southern Star Motorsports Daniel Kaslassi just ahead of them. Yeah, there it is. He knew it was happening. Now, it'll be interesting to see who makes it out first. Is it going to be Mike overtaking Kaslassi, or is it going to be Ollie Raza overtaking Burkhoff? We're halfway through this race, and we still have a lot of action taking place on the field. So we see Diego Moscato try to go on that inside line. Does not overtake him. Jet Engelman still holding his position, but we have Chronotis here of the Adidas Parlay on the attack. He's got that IDRF in his sights, and he is within a tenth of him right now. Well, since you said so much, I'll pull back away from this cam so you can take a look at that. And let's just go to one that's a little bit more zoomed in. I think it's this one. Here we go. I don't pay this cameraman enough. There's the Adidas Parlay. Most of the drivers have custom liveries. Most of the teams have custom liveries. I believe there's only like 2 teams right now on the field that do not have a custom livery. As we see that Chronotis is going on the inside of Jet Engelman, and he sticks it. Is he going to be able to take it on this inside line for this next corner? They're side-by-side Ferraris. Oh! It looked a little off for the second. He maintains that inside line. And he has cleanly overtaken Jet Engelman. That's how you do it without tapping someone's bumper, everybody. As we see... Oh, car number 69. Oh. Mitch McConnell is sideways. He loses a lot of positions. Dropping down to P19 from 14. Oh, I think it was 14. Yikes. I don't know if that was murder. But send a detective to that screen. That was rough. He is no longer in a good position as he started qualifying pretty well. Like he's up there. Looks like Chronotis is getting close to Moscato. Engelman dying just a little bit as we still have Mike Burkhoff and what is that? Mike Burkhoff and Ollie Raza. We have that Alexis in P7, an AMG in P8, and then a Bentley in P9. That is lap traffic from the car number 93. That is going to be just lap traffic. That is A. Chen of the Morton Salt team. It's a good thing that he got out of the way, let these drivers continue to race under no blue flags. Oh, and I didn't even notice this, but Mike Burkhoff has some damage. He's going against some drivers that don't have damage. That could be all the... it doesn't... Only looks like it has front-end damage, so... Wow, look at that send from Ollie Raza going on the inside. He's going to take it. Or not. It looked really nice for a second. Dude. I don't believe Mike Burkhoff's the kind of driver that will try to overtake in this section of the track. If he was going to do it, it'd be through turn 1 or that sector going up the hill. Yes, Mike Burkhoff is a tracklicious sim racing driver. He typically gets into the race late, and so he doesn't qualify well. So he ends up having to battle people through the entire traffic. He pulls Checo moments because he doesn't ever place well. But he's usually his pace is for top 10. He could definitely put himself on the top 10 quali if he so came to these qualifying sessions in a timely manner. He came from the back of the grid in 38th place last Sunday and got up to 12th place through an endurance race for the GT3 series. So he's got some skill, a lot of skill. See one of those iron forces right there. That's gonna be lap traffic. These drivers have been consistent with each other the entire race, and I don't think any one of them have created any real issues for each other. They're fairly clean. Roz is really clean. And as you could already tell on the overall, we have Riley Menier still holding P1 with his teammate Richie Girolamo in P2. Oh no! Oh no! Daniel Kaslassi just got taken in a collection from that Iron Force driver that went sideways. He was able to recover, but he definitely did some damage. It doesn't look like it on screen. Or is that Raza that hit him? I can't tell. He lost 2 positions from that incident. As Raza doesn't have damage either. But Daniel Kaslassi dropped to P8 over that. And it doesn't look like I see... There's no damage visibly that you can see on Kaslassi's car, but I think he definitely connected a little bit. Or he just got out of the way and another driver that was in a back marker that also hit him. But that Iron Force is going to be feeling the force of a few cars. That's unfortunate. As we have these 2 drivers, Ali Raza taking the inside from Burkhoff there, and he now takes P6. Ali Raza capitalized on what was an unfortunate incident and now holds P6 from these drivers. We're going to see Chronotis here on the attack of Diego Moscato with Eric Miller just ahead of him in P10. Before I was rudely interrupted by some horrific incident, we have Aaron Free still holding P3 with a huge gap. He has a 10-second gap from the race lead, 4.5-second gap from P2. Chris McKeesey is in P4 with a 4.2-second gap from P3 and a 14.5 gap from the race lead. Josh Willis has a 4.5-second gap from P4, and he has a 20-second gap from the race lead. Ali Raza in P6 has a 7.5-second gap from P5. So I don't see anything happening in that top 5 drivers anytime soon. Barring some huge mistake from back markers, they're going to maintain their spots for the next 7 minutes. As the track is getting greasy, rain is slowing down, and it's going to slow down again in the next 3 minutes, so we'll definitely see some change. As Chronotis goes a little wide there, it's going to definitely give some room for Moscato to pull away. So we have Jet Engelman going against Reggie King for P13. They're both down this line together. They go through that. Whoever's going to be ahead through this right-hander is going to maintain it. Oh. And he takes it wide. Oh, no. That would have been it for Jet Engelman there, but he could have had that clean overtake, but he had a lot more. He just had too much speed going through that. As we have a car off, car number 40 and car number 28. Oh, that's car number 40 has entered the pits. We have Diego Moscato on the attack towards Eric Miller here. As Chronotis tries to get some time back that he lost. He's getting a little closer. That is a Morton Salt off in the brush, the grass there. They say rain was the great equalizer, and that is definitely true of today's race. That is it's a lot of drivers that have made some major errors. So far on the incidences collected, we have over 39. And that is a lot of drivers involved in these incidences. Oh. Okay. I'm glad that panned out. It looked like it was going to be a little bit of an oversteer moment. And still nothing. So we'll take a look at another driver. Daniel Kaslassy's finally coming back. He's overtaken Mike Burkhoff at some point, so that's good news for Daniel Kaslassy, but he's just trying to come back to regain his pace, regain his place. And, yeah, get some good points for Southern Star Motorsports, as these points matter. Adidas Parlay is going to be, if they finish this race together, that's going to be some major points for the team going forward in the team standings, as well as Riley Menier, who's already holding P1 for the driver standings. And just to briefly take a look at that. Still nothing, but here we are with Riley Menier in first place, Honoré Sundar in second, Josh Willis third, Lindauer fourth, Burkhoff fifth, Kersetter sixth, Pickerel seventh, Allen 8, Kaslassy's 9, and Wassam 10. And that's a driver standings championship for you. So some of these drivers definitely have a lot to fight for, even though we're coming to a close on this first race of the doubleheader. I believe that is another yellow flag on the track going through Sector 1. Oh, look at that. We have Jason Provolone still fighting for a position. Oh. Okay, still clean, still clean. Looks like he has a lot of damage to his car in that front end. And a little bit of the back end. He's still fighting Mitch McConnell for a good spot, as we have the IDRF team, Sundar and Wassam in P19 and 20 right behind him.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
And while the leader's on the final lap, these drivers are all going to have to go and take in one more lap. That is a lot of damage from Honorwood Sundar on that end. I wonder if we're going to see anything shake up in the last lap. You hope you don't. You hope you don't see like a major incident occur. But anything is possible. We have Riley Manier going through that final sector. Chronotis is still going to have a go at Moscato here. They're about 7/10 off. That's the closest thing we have on the track right now besides Honorwood Sundar, who, whoa. He has overtaken Jason Provolone already, going to P17. It looks like he's going to try to have a push at Path Motorsports there. Oh, is that a tap? That must have been a tap. Car number 28 in 131. Car number 47. Nope, neither one of these drivers is him.
Leader has finished the race.
All right, there you have it. So we have Riley Manier, P1. Richie Girolamo, P2. Aaron Free is P3. Chris McKeesey, P4. Josh Willis, P5, as he's crossing the line just now. We have Ollie Raza going across the line, and he is going to be P6. Daniel Kaslasky is going to be P7. Mike Burkhoff is going to cross the line at P8. Anything can happen. These are the drivers that are going to be crossing the line closest to each other. Is Diego Moscato takes P11. Chronotis takes P12. Reggie King takes P13. Jed Engelman crosses the line at P14. Mitch McConnell at P15. Honorwood Sundar does not get by him. Rogers takes 16. Sundar 17. Provolone 17, 18. Man, I can't even tell anymore. 17. Nybor 18. Wassam 19. Bravo might take 20 from Ray Frias of Mortensalt. So we'll see. There's 2 Mortensalts in a row. They won't be gaining any points after 20. Bravo will take the last of the points for the drivers and teams standings. As he goes across, we have Ray Frias 21, Kakassian 22, Lindauer in 23, 22, 23, Rogers 24, Cassian 25, Oak 26, Ward 27, Kerstetter went to 28, unfortunately for him. Orozco 29, Chen 30, Barrera 31, Crowheavenborn 32, Mansilla 33, Rigby 34, Chan 35, Morrison 36, Allen 38, 7, and Jin 38. Man, it's a lot of drivers. I wonder what happened to Kerstetter because he was in the top 10. As we have our race winners here with me, the Adidas Parlay, Riley Manier and Richie Girolamo. Fantastic race, gentlemen. Fantastic quality. My only question is, did you actually feel any sweat once you realized you're pulling away about 5 seconds off the P3?
Not really.
No, we were full sweat that entire race, making sure that we were on. We were trying to work as hard as we could to keep that 1-2 finish, and I'm really proud of Richie. He was able to stick with me there, and we were able to pull away pretty easily.
It was just a matter of putting my head down, trying to be consistent, not making any mistakes, and didn't hardly make any mistakes at all. So
yeah, I mean, you guys held it together. You finished together. That's got to be great. Great points for the team as well as the own driver standings as well. I mean, fantastic race with everything that was happening at every sector of that race. I'm shocked and surprised you guys did not even feel or noticed a lot of it, or had to go across a lot of it because it was happening everywhere. But you guys seem to have a good even keel on it.
I mean, I was just trying to tell Richie to concentrate on his pace and just keep the gap to Aaron. I kept calling out stuff like that I kept seeing. Like I was watching the mini map a little more because I felt really comfortable with the car. So I was calling stuff out. Like I think Mitch spun at one point, and then I said Kerstetter spun through Sunset. And so we were calling it out, but most of all, we were just really focused on our pace, and it worked out.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
it really did.
A lot of great teamwork going on with Chrono in the back, giving us details from what's going on back there. Rudy being a spotter up front. All three of us, we worked really well together on that race as a team. So
Yeah, for Team Adidas Parlay, it really showed. I mean, it was a really fantastic finish. I thought there was going to be some upsets off that opening lap, but the moment you guys were able to cleanly get through turn 1 and turn 2 and 3, and then you could just see that there was a gap building because of all the stuff that was happening behind you. It was well-rounded for your team. Great job, guys.
thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.
You.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And we are going to have a sunny sky race right now. Track is optimum. Let's see who's on right now. Take a look. We have 7 minutes, 25 seconds of a free practice, and then it's going to go to a 10-minute qualifying, and then an hour-long race. So it's a slight endurance race, but it should be a really interesting race considering what happened here. Really just comes down to quality. If anyone can knock those Adidas Parlay drivers out, it will really put a different perspective on the race. So we got 7 full minutes of practice. I'll be right back, and then we'll start qualifying with the good stuff. So just bear with us. It's a quick break. All right. Hopefully everyone is here and back. I'm still your commentator, J. Alvarez. Let's take a look at what's going on track. Got some drivers trying to do some hot laps. And while we're at it, we'll just go to the team standings here. And we'll swap over to... we got the GT3 team standings. Right now, Southern Star Motorsports is in the lead with a 232 with IDRF Ferrari behind them with 225. Adidas Parlay is 219. Those double podiums there for P1 and 2 from the Adidas Parlay is definitely going to put them at number 1 for the team standings. However, this being an hour-long race, there'll be extra points awarded for the length of the time of the race. So a 30-minute race gives you X amount of points, but if you double that, you're going to get double the points. So if we can see Southern Star Motorsports pull something off with their drivers getting at the top 10, they'll definitely make all the difference as we see the other the teams lining up there, going down the list. And then from there we have P8, 9, and 10, as well as 11, 12, and 13. Everyone's doing pretty good. We have 125 points, 106, 34, 30, 23, 14, 12. The list gets quickly short as we end with three teams tied in 14th with 12 points. The Incident Collectors, Iron Force Racing, then Avanti is in 17, Turtle Tracks is in 18, and Underdog Racing in 19. And that being the team standings, we'll go right back to the driver standings here. We have Riley Manier, who's going to hold a very comfortable lead with his now P1 victory, with Sundar ending up in the bottom of the points there, I think at 19 or 20. It's definitely not going to bode well for his position, as Josh Willis did take P5. So it's going to be some good points for him. Lindauer did not make it up there. He was in P22, so he can receive no points. Mike Burkhoff made it pretty high in the contention. I think P7 or P8, so good for him. Mike Burkhoff's going to get some good points to go up this leaderboard here. Kersetter was unable to finish at a high position, so he's going to get no points. And then Pickerel, I'm not exactly sure where Andrew Pickerel ended up. I thought he started high and then maybe went low. And then going down the list, we have a lot here. So 11 through 20, we got a lot of drivers that are really close to the contention. I think Provlone was the one that was going to gain some over. No, Aaron Free landed third place in this race. So Aaron Free is going to jump from 13 all the way up into the top 10. I believe it, based on that third standing there. And then going over to the tied for 20, we have a couple drivers tied for 20, and then 22 through 25 is pretty good. 26 and 20 is tied twice, Barrio and Barrera with 10 points each. King is 28. Tied at 29 is Mansilla, Spool, and I believe a couple more drivers. Oh, yeah, a lot more drivers. We have Gucassian, Otto, Morrison, Frias, Shurik, Frias ends that with all tied with 6 points each at 29. The race is over, but the qualifying is about to start. Free practice has ended. We have Rogers, Shurik, Oak, Rose, Rogers, and Kayat all with 3 points, and they're tied at 35. And then ending it out, we have Orozco and Buckley, Harris, and Chen all tied with, and Vandy all tied with 3 points as well in 35th position. And then 46 is tied 3 times with Engelman, Train, and Chan, and then 49 is Ward. And so many drivers we have here. It's a lot. We'll get off that screen there and jump right back into it. We're going to be starting the qualifying session here at Kyalami in this doubleheader. We'll hit drive. Take a look at who is on a fast out lap. I'm going to look at Josh Willis. He's not in number 1. I'm going to look at Crow Havenborn. And he is leading us out on this qualifying session before this 1 hour race starts. Still got a lot of drivers in the pits. Constable Cody Wassom's in the pits. Morrison's in the pits. McConnell's in the pits. Cornotis is in the pits. I'd like to see some of those drivers out there. They are fast drivers. Borio's in the pits right now, and so is Chen, Ward, and Mansilla. And I think I missed one. Missed 2. Qualcata, thank you for the follow. Stain VWO, thank you for the follow. I don't know if I want to say that in the way I think I'm supposed to say it. Piety Lewis Siam YM, thank you for the follow. Tracklicious Sim Racing really appreciates it. That looks like Crow Havenborn is hit the wall on that, so I don't know if he's going to want to stick out for this lap, but we'll jump to a driver that's starting it right now. Looks to be Josh Willis. Car number 42 is on an out lap, so Josh Willis is in. Yeah, big slam. If I was him, I would try to pull it out. Or maybe qualifying could be enough. Maybe it wasn't enough damage for him to end up going that route. We'll see. That is a lot of traffic sitting there in Sector 3. You hope it starts to clear up by the time Josh Willis gets to that point. I mean, it's just, what an insane thing to see is that we're still looking at traffic on that final corner. Josh Willis is getting close to it. And the driver ahead of him is on an outlap, so... Two. Oh, no. Lindauer is actually not on an outlap. He's in car number 2. He's just on an invalid lap. So that's unfortunate for him as Constable Cody Wassam goes out on a invalid lap. Going across the board, we have Josh Willis with 142.6. Crow Havenboard comes across with a 145.1. Riley Manier is going to be rounding that final corner now, and this is what really matters here is where's this driver going to end up. Riley Manier takes P1 with a 141.8 as Richie Geralman takes a 143 flat. Aaron Freeze a 144.4. Allen's a 145.5. Oh, look at that. We have Jay Snyder with a 143.2. Let's pull out the bracket here. Big penalty maybe getting out for they block because of the queue. True. There would definitely be some penalties post stewarding that gets done if there is any issues with that quality setup. As we have Kerstetter going 4th fastest with a 143.2. Eric Miller going up there with a 144.6. Mike Burkhoff with a 142.9. Look at that. Mike Burkhoff coming out of nowhere. He qualified really low in the standings last, or I don't think he qualified at all, but he made his way through the pack and made it up there in the top 10. So good for him. As we have any driver really pulling together right now. We have Richie Geralman already showing that he's going to go a little bit faster. Mitch McConnell goes across the line with a 143.1. Richie Geralman, here we go. We can see the fastest sector times of Richie Geralman are not there at all. Ed Kerstetter has fastest sector times through Sector 3. You can see that purple one right there. Riley Manier still holds Sector 1 and 2 as fastest sector times. Mike Burkhoff went into the pits, but Richie Geralman's going to have a half second off his delta going faster, and this might be enough to put him ahead as he goes ahead with a 142.5, pulling out the fastest Sector 1 time and pulling ahead of Lindauer and Burkhoff. Snyder goes ahead with a 142.6. Riley Manier still on an invalid lap. Let's take a look at Ed Kerstetter here. As Ed Kerstetter... Oh, no, I missed him. Where did he go? He crosses the line. Kerstetter goes second fastest with 142.108. Wow. Kerstetter holding P2, going insanely fast. As we have Josh Willis, who's also trying to pull out a good lap. He's going to be going through Sector 3 right now. He's 6/10 off of his time right now. We have no other driver on the field. As Cass he's going to come across the line. He gets a 142.5, fastest through Sector 1. I'm using ACC race control, and a little bit of fine-tuning allows us to do the overlay so that you can actually see what's happening on the backside there. So it's a lot of filtering that is being done, but it's allowed us to get at least this much going on right now. Josh lost a little bit of time through that corner as he crosses the line. He goes second fastest, though, and he's fastest through Sector 1 and 2. Josh Willis now holding P2 with a 141.9. There's been only 2 other drivers that have shown that pace on the grid right now, and that is Riley Badier and Richie Geralman. So for him to do that just shows that he's willing to make some moves to get there, and he just did that. Ed Kerstetter is getting pulled out of his position, not going fastest right now. He's got to get a couple tenths to really pull it off. We have Raza coming across the line with almost a half second off his delta. Is it going to be enough to put him above him? As Raza goes first, pole position for Ollie Raza. He goes 141.8. Oh my God. Oh, that's insane. Ed Kerstetter goes across the line but is unable to improve his time over Josh Willis. We have Chris McKeezy going across the line right now. He's P9. Let's see where he comes across. He has a 6/10 off his time as he's crossing line. He goes third fastest, pulling Willis out of there. Oh, that is unfortunate for Josh Willis. He was up there, and he's being taken down slowly. We have Riley Manier, who is going through Sector 3, halfway through it. 2 more turns, and he's going to find out where his pace is. He's 3/10 off his time. That's going to be good enough for him to be number 1. Oh, no. Oversteer, understeer. He's trying to correct. He's in a wall. It's not enough. He has minimal damage, though. It didn't look like he took too much damage. He has 1 more attempt to go for it, but he might have burned his tires on that. Let's see what he does. We have Ed Kersetter going through Sector 3. He's 6/10 off his time. Is invalidated his lap, unfortunately. Oh, that's not great. That is, he's going to have 1 more attempt to go at this. As he crosses the line, he is now back into a valid lap. Let's see where he ends up with that. Ed Kersetter. Scrolling down the list here, we have a lot of drivers that end up in the 46s, 45s, 44s, 43s. A lot of drivers in the 42s. We have drivers from 17 to 5. P5 to P17 are only less than a second off of their times. You know, we're talking tenths, 4/10, 5/10. I mean, Burkhoff's a 142.9. He was 4th fastest at one point, and now he's P17. Went into the pits right off the bat, too. It's unfortunate. Mitch McConnell going across the line. Oh, my God! Mitch McConnell, as qualifying ends, he holds the fastest time in the grid, a 141.6. Not even fastest through any of the sectors. That doesn't make any sense, but he pulls it off. Wow. Look at that. Mitch McConnell, fastest overall. We have Jay Allen trying to cross the line shortly, and he's going to be a little bit up on his time, but it might not be enough to go beyond Pickrell's time. As Pickrell's already has 2/10 off his time, it's going to be more than enough. As Jeff Allen crossed the line, Pickrell he lost a lot of time through that. Oh, no, he lost all of his time through that last corner. Ed Kersetter going across the line. Let's see where he ends up. Ed Kersetter pulls ahead with a P4 over P6. That's going to be good enough to get in the contention for P1. As we have Honored Sundar crossing the line. He only gets a P12. Wow, what an exciting shakeup. McConnell, P1, Raza, P2, Riley Manier, P3, Kersetter, P4, McKeezy, P5, Willis, P6, Cass Lassie, P7. And then we have Pickrell, P8, Allen, P9, Crow Havenborn, P10, Drolleman, 11, Sundar, 12, and onward. This race is about to start. And we have 3 minutes to go. So we'll take a good little look at some of the liveries that we are sporting for Tracklicious Sim Racing. Each series has their own custom liveries. The GT4 series has some really interesting ones that are offset from these ones, as we did get a couple good ones. To see that Boatley on the front row, that's great. Path Motorsports on the front row. A little bit of a... Oh, somebody loaded in. That's what that was. We have Adidas Parlay in the second row. It's another Google car, the Nest Motorsports on right there. And we got one of my favorites, the Bass Pro Shops, Southern Star Motorsports. Look at that. Didn't even see this nice detail, did you? Yeah. That's something. Going down the list, let's see if we can't find something that's a little extravagant. We have the IDRF team with their custom livery. Even goes across those fins. Pretty nice. And the Adidas parlay with that splash of the Seattle Seahawks colors. And this is one of the main ones, one of the only stock liveries we have in the race so far. So we have the Flying Lizard Motorsports right there. And we've got a couple BRB clubs right here. If you scan that QR code, it will actually come up with, I think it comes up to the, it's either the race app or the Discord. The QR code works, though. That's one of the interesting things. I don't know how they manage that. Still have a huge grid to go through. Take a look at this amazing livery. I don't know what the team name of this is. I know it's Barrera and some other driver. I can't remember his name, but they have a really good livery. And then we have a meme car. It's another load-in from a driver. Still 30 seconds to go. They can load in. The McLovin McLaren Motorsports. I myself designed this, so if you think it sucks, that's fair. It's my first one I ever did. And then the Azuri Racing. I like this one. It's pretty good. Got some nice flair. Got Team Mortensalt right here. And an Iron Force. I think that's just stock. This race is going to go through an outlap, so don't mind me as I scroll through some of them. Oh, that is one of the Southern Star Motorsports having to restart the computer, probably. That is going to be Gucassian right here. You can see the little names across the top. See how long that takes for these drivers to get out of here. And as we're giving it a go, we'll pop back to the starting lineup here. This is the formation lap. It's typical we like to do these on every race. More so with the GT4 series because of those tires like that just don't want to heat up at the start of a race. You get a lot of issues that occur with drivers not being able to maintain their lines as they go through those first corners. That's why we do a full formation regardless, so everyone has a chance to heat up the tires. Oh. I hope everyone is drinking water right now because it is about to rain. In the next 10 minutes of this hour-long session, we have rain. While the track is optimum and the track temp is 27 degrees, we are gonna have ourselves a rainy time. I'm glad I just saw that. I bet no driver decided to go with wets. What we will see, though, is if there's some insane strategy, some big brain plays, they're going to use the wets. They started with the wets because they saw that time, the 10 minutes out, it was going to turn wet, and they're going to hope that it just stays wet. That 10 minutes could go to wet and drizzle a little bit, but not enough to where it takes you away from having to go to wet tires. The track might go to, it might drop a couple situations from optimum, but it's not going to go to the point where it's going to be damp, and damp is where you're really worried about being on those dry tires. And as a lot of drivers have said previously, it's better to be on dry tires and wets than wet tires on dry conditions. So we'll see where that pans out. I've seen it happen, though, Cabron. I've seen it happen. I've seen drivers play for that game, and they lit their tires to high temps, but just play to the wet parts of the track and cooled them off, and were able to have a consistent race. Not a fast race, but definitely a better one than the dry tire teams had. It's actually what separated a couple teams in the GT4 series on their first race. That's Hey, Gum Data, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. As we're going through this, green, green, green. So far, clean. So far, clean. I'm pulling through the backfield here. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. We're all clean. Everybody's clean. Oh, 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 oh. No. A little bit of a slip up. People are, oh, a couple bruised egos for sure, but we are still clean. It's going to be a massive shakeup. I can't switch drivers right now just because of everybody moving, but here we go. We have Ed Kerstetter in P3 already pulling one position off of McKeesey. It is still contentious with the top 4 drivers right now. Wow, you can just see them moving. They're going to build all the momentum they can before it gets to that rainy conditions. Oh, we have one driver that's far out there. Car number 8 had to start from the pits. That's why that driver is actually back there. There was no racing incident that was attributed to that. So we see the Nest Motorsports going against that Bentley as he's going to overtake him. Look at that. That's clean. Which one is that? That's McKeesey. McKeesey now holds P3. Going in on the inside. Can he take the... Oh, no. I think he just tapped. Possibly. Yep. Car number 24 did tap car number 28. That was McKeesey and Kerstetter having a little bit of an incident. A little bit of a touch. Nothing too major, though. Didn't send him flying, but that is a racing incident. Now this is where it's at. Look at that. We have drivers going side by side going through those corners as Moscato's trying to hold his line. That's some damage from both those front ends there. So there was some incidences that have occurred already. We just didn't get them in full, you know, send it mode where they're into walls and stuff. Jeff Allen's in front of a hungry pack trying to get ahead of him. These 2 Flying Lizards are there as well as 2 Adidas Parlay. This car number 82 is off the track. That is Jason Provlone of Southern Star Motorsports already going into the pits. Doesn't bode well for the Southern Star Motorsports. We have, you know, only 4 minutes off this time, and people, you don't want to call it quits this early. We have Barrio in P24. Oh! Wow, that driver just did that. Who was that? That had to be Riley Manier as he sent it in on that inside. Oh, he's already at the bottom of the track. Oh, no! There is a Flying Lizard in the... Riley Manier must have lost position so early on in that first lap. He is down to P14. He started on the second row. He's already making up positions, though, as he sent it down the inside, off track, and is now P12. I for sure thought this was going to be a torpedo into a couple of those drivers. As we see Josh Willis is... Oh, no. We have Reggie King. and Cody Wasson going through that hand in hand, barely missing each other. Oh, look at, he's got that inside corner. It's not going to be enough, though. He needs the other side. You have two BRB clubs fighting. Oh, no! That's Mike Burkhoff and Barrio hit Reggie King into a wall. And they continue like nothing happened. Oh, no. That was Barrio that tapped, let's see, car number 14 or 72. It didn't record who hit him. That's unfortunate. Ed Kerstetter, P2 still. Half a second off the race lead, Mitch McConnell. If he doesn't make an overtake off this opening turn, we're going to have to pull some other stuff happening on track. As while the race leads are advantageous, we got some other stuff happening here. We have Riley Minier lost a position already. You can see the damage to his front end, back end, side. Honored Sunder has damage. Looks like Josh Willis does not have damage. Oh no. Look at these drivers panning up. We have 3 wide right now. Okay, maybe that was a perspective issue. Oh, no, it wasn't. There goes Morrison. He's off into the side. That is an Iron Force taken out of it. Oh, as he tries to get back on it. Oh, no, there's Missouri Racing in the corner. Oh, this is a little unsafe. There's a lot of drivers were collected in that incident. And we have rain. Track is fast. It has lost its optimum stability, and we're going to have rain plus in 10 minutes. It's now going to be a factor of who's going to pit in an advantageous spot for those wet tires. The track will switch from fast to greasy. And then from there, you're definitely going to want to make your move. Right now, it's still safe to keep your dry tires on, but once it makes that switch, we're going to get your coordinators are going to tell you, hey, man, switch. Oh, no. Yellow flags going through this corner. That's Eric Miller biting for P16 right now over Bravo. As he takes that on the inside, is he going to be able to hold it through that next corner? He does. Eric Miller just clean overtake from Bravo there. As we have Cody Wasson trying to do the same to Mansilla. They are side by side. And Wasson's ahead. Yeah, Otto, I think your premiums would have gone up. There's a lot of things happening so far. We have Daniel Kaslassi fighting to get back into the points. So is Lindauer, another Southern Star Motorsports driver. They are leading the team standings, and both these drivers are having to come back from a very bad set of circumstances. One of the drivers had to restart. Provolone has exited the game, as I don't see him on track for the second race. So that's these two drivers having to make up some positions. Oh, no! He pushes Barrera off. Oh, no, and a flying lizard also goes off. Oh, Daniel Kaslassi, that can't feel good. He definitely was on that car number 59, controlled in that incident. Oh, it's not looking good. Push comes to shove. People are shoving. Ed Kerstetter here with a P2 still, holding on with 2 to 3 tenths off this race lead. They are 2.5 seconds off of P3. That's McKeezy sitting right there in that Nest Motorsports, the Google car, as you guys would call it. And they are in a battle of their own. Car number 42 is still on track. That's Chronotis. He goes into the pits. We have a bunch of drivers in the pits right now. We have rain. It's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier as we have the 3-minute mark and the 10-minute mark. More rain. Where's race control? It's Provolone's not here. It's backed out. So okay. So Provolone had to leave. If we were looking at race control, I don't know if you guys really want to see that on screen while this race is happening. I could pull it up just briefly, just so you can get a glimpse of what's happening on my screen. We have that yellow gap, as you can see the yellow numbers there. That's going to be the distance, the accurate distance over the overall that you see on the left-hand side. So we have 4 tenths off of Kerstetter from McConnell. We have Crow Havenborn was 1/10 off of Girolamo there, and now he's back on that with 2 tenths. So we get some accurate depiction of what's happening with this race, as we have a lot of other drivers on that I'm scanning through. Aaron Freese going side by side with Ray Frias as it stands, and he gets ahead of him actually, so that's a clean overtake by Aaron Free. And then we have Ray Frias still trying to have a go at Aaron Free, but it's a little bit difference in braking distance. And then back up, we have our race leads still battling it out. That's just a little bit of the race control, while it doesn't. It's automatically updating when this doesn't. So right now they're going through Sector 1 or Sector 3, and it updates based on the sector times as well as when they cross the line. So that's not as accurate as what I'm looking at on my own personal secondary screen. As this race has already showed to pull some major gaps from some of these drivers. The track is greasy now, and what happens now will dictate what happens for the rest of this race. Drivers are going to have to go into the pits to get wet tires. It's just that simple. The best of Mitch McConnell was a 142.5. Ed Kerstetter's best lap was a 141.9. So now you can see he's clearly 6 tenths faster than McConnell is on their best lap. But as it stands, they're both holding a 144.2. That's a little bit of lag there. That's the only thing I can discern from that little jump in the connection. As it goes a little wide, Kerstetter's not going to be able to make anything happen from that. Oh, it's not active stewarding there, Upset. It's post-race stewarding. So if there's any incident that requires a legitimate penalty for anything that happens on track, what we do is we have the entire race available to us on Google Drives that we send to each other. And so there's a group of stewards that will look at an incident and determine whether or not the driver's at fault. And if they are at fault, it will translate to not only the next race, but sometimes, oh my God, Ed Kerstetter loses it through that corner. He's off track. He's going to have to make back some pace. That is Raza P4 moving past him. Oh no. That is definitely a wet condition moment. He took that the way he was taking it before, and I mean, the track is just not meant for that anymore. definitely going to have to see some speed. Mitch McConnell's able to definitely pull away with some good speed there. Not having any incidents from that. We have Daniel Cass actually fighting for P18 right now. So upset. It really comes down to the drivers' thoughts on reporting. If a driver thinks it's worth reporting, the driver will report it. They will take the timestamp of when it happened, what lap, who was involved, and they will review it. We've had some ones that were more like there's a lot of things to review, and other times people don't report some incidences because they know I'm at fault and I've apologized to that driver, or, you know, it really matters to the top 20 drivers, because that's where you get your points from. Everyone outside of P20 doesn't get any points. So if a driver in P1 knocked you out and you're P2, sorry, if he was in P2 and you're in P1 and he knocked you out, they would get, you know, a time penalty that would ultimately make you P1 again. So you don't really worry about it too much if you know the driver's at fault. And that only makes me point to something that I want to bring up, is that we did have penalties that were given. Barrio was from the BRB club had a qualifying ban. He had to start from the rear of the field because of a incident that occurred on the last race of the GT3 series. We had warnings. Given to drivers with 2 penalty points. Eric Gukasian, Jay Otto of the Incident Collectors, and Alonso Barrio. And those are points deducted to the overall racing standings. Yeah, I don't know. Otto, you got that? Because, like, it felt like I was exploding. It felt like something. I'm glad that was on cam or on the Twitch. I was not sure what happened. It sounded like an explosion happened in my ears, and then audio was gone for a second, but we're still clear. I'm safe. I don't live in an area where gunshots would be a thing. I mean, I guess in America, gunshots could be a thing anywhere, so there is that. It sounded like my headphones exploded, like in my ears. That's what it really came down to. We have Riley Manier attacking Josh Willis for P9 right now. Nine's here, not. Oh no! Riley Manier! He just slides off! The track is greasy. These drivers do not have wets on. He literally just went sideways. Oh no. You hate to see it. Ed Kerstetter pulling back from P2, was in P2, now P4, on the attack against Ali Raza within 3/10 of the driver. Oh my gosh. Anything can happen. We still have 41 minutes of this race. And a lot of these drivers, I'm not even sure, have gone into the pits for their wets. We have Daniel Caslassie, who's sitting in the pits right now, and he's there of his own volition, so we might see him make a solid... Oh, whoa. Nope. There we go. Yeah. Whiskers did say LMAO, I guess in America, cuts to head, just like watching the news. Yeah, some gunshots. Ed Kerstetter does pull off an impressive overtake over that hill, and he pulls P3 from Ali Raza. First time in. Hope you are having a good day. Much love, Team Backfire Gaming. Hey, thanks for coming in. It's been a great day. I slept for most of it. That's only because I worked the night shift at an emergency room, so it's completely off topic. I am fired up. We have some great racing here. Ed Kersetter from the 9for9 Sim Racing is showing his might here and his technical skill. He lost 2 positions off of a mistake not using wet tires. I believe he's still on dries. And track's still greasy, and the rain's going to continue for the next 10 minutes, with it getting a lot more heavier in the next 3 minutes. As we have car number 23 is off the side. Who is that? That's Andy Oak. Oh, it's unfortunate for him. We have Eric Miller on the attack of Constable Cody Wassam. This is for P16, or 15 right now. We have Lindauer holding P17, so at least he's in the points again for the Southern Star Motorsports team. They were struggling through both of these races, so it's good to see that they're coming back with some good pace. That is a lot of damage, and that is the damage one says when one decides not to use wet tires. And only a few drivers have gone into the pits to make such a move. So we'll see the pace change. Right now, we have our race lead with a 146.3. Every driver behind him is following suit with a 146, 147, or a 148. A lot of these drivers are pulling their times to be a lot more cautious with the rain still being consistent. And you can see that dry line is only in one section there, and they got to stick to it or they're going to lose the rear end, just like what happened with Riley Manier coming down this next corner. And still nobody's going into the pits. Looking at Snyder trying to break that that toe there. I think Lindauer went a little wide there. Let's see where Burkhoff's at. We got P10 and P9 in a battle. Josh Willis, Mike Burkhoff. He's about 3/10 off of this driver. I don't think he's going to make a move until either the up of the hill, right at this turn here. Oh, no. Car number 27. Car number 8. Incident for car number 8. Still quite not there yet for those drivers. They're getting close. Car 14. Let's see where car 14's at. Barrio. All right. We have Barrio's in P12. Right in front of him is DeMarcus or Demetrius Rogers. Oh, look at, he had a little bit of a steering issue there. It's a wet condition issues for sure. Barrio's holding P12 with a damaged Riley Manier behind him in a P13. And these drivers are still holding this little train. We have Snyder, Wassam, Miller, who we're on right now, and Lindauer right behind him. These are 4 cars all within, 2/10, 3/10 right now. The track is going to remain greasy and wet as the track temps are going down. Whoa, look at that. Now that is, we're catching the back end of that, but Mitch McConnell just got overtaken by McKeesey, Chris McKeesey of Ness Motorsports, taking in P1 right now. McConnell finally taking off the top position for the first time in this race with 13 laps in. Oh, that's that must have been a long game. He tries to take that inside, but it's not going to work. They're double wide, but he's going to follow in that toe. He's going to break the toe. I think if these drivers don't maintain some level of cool, Kerstedter's just going to sweep away going into P1 if these drivers end up making a fatal mistake. They're still 35 minutes into this race. You could always come back to get a good overtake, but trying to get impatient and go for an overtake after just being overtaken might not be the strategy here. I don't think that's what Mitch McConnell's trying to do, but you never know exactly what's going on through someone's... Oh. Gotta think that these drivers have... Some of these drivers have switched to the wets. It has been a wet race. It is going to shape up to be slightly less rain in 10 minutes. It really matters if there's a... is it worth it to go with that that wet setup with 34 minutes left to go and the rain is, not continuing? I can't say for certainty that Cass Lassie in P27 is a driver that went with the wet setup. If I'm not mistaken, he did go voluntarily into the pits. He could have taken it, but he's only still holding a last lap of a 148 flat, and some of these drivers are already at a 148 on dry tires. So the advantageous thing to do with wet tires would have been to have the wets and gain at least a second or two off of each driver that didn't have the wets. And I don't know if that's the case. Thanks, Upset. I think there was a little bit to be said there. I'm curious if you guys think that that's what should have happened. It does look like we're going to be seeing less rain, so I have seen a driver hold a wet tire setup when it cleared from greasy back to fast, back to optimum, and he held it together for the last 10 minutes of a race, opting to not switch back to dries. And a lot of drivers opted to switch back to drives. And he, while cooking his entire tire set to maximum of like 44 PSI in each tire, just absurd amounts, he was able to maintain his line and his relative pace on Nürburgring, and he won the race. But it really came down to he was still like another minute and a half up from the next driver because he opted to just stay out. Oh, absolutely. Otto said that, they might be doing the same times, but they make a small mistake and they lose 15 to 30 seconds. You're absolutely right. In the wet setup also allows you to even just be a little bit more aggressive when you're taking those corners, whereas these drivers that are maybe taking the same time and are still babying their dry tires, as it's still really wet on screen. You see, we'll switch to another drivers as we have some other battles forming. McKeesy's still holding... Man. I'm just going to point out that you guys saw that overtake, but I was talking so much, I clearly wasn't paying attention to when Mitch McConnell got ahead of McKeesy for P1. So at some point that happened, and, at least there's good directing with the bad commentary. He's still 5 seconds off of this driver. I'm going to pull back over to Mike Burkhoff here, who's 2/10 off of this driver, and he's holding him close. Oh, he got him on the outside. Oh, he took him on the outside. Okay, so that's what happened. McKee's got taken out on the took on the outside. That'd probably be best. Let's see where the pressure is really, because we have Burkhoff on the heels of Josh Willis. These drivers did not switch to dries or to wets, so it's impressive that they're holding a good, strong pace at a 148 flat. Oh, okay, before the final turn. And I don't think it's going to happen.
We are at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go.
Barrio was P12, just overtook Rogers for P11. That was a clean overtake there over the hill. We have Kerstetter. What? Went into the pits, dropping a lot of positions here. I'm not sure what he's doing in the pits. We got 30 minutes left of this race, unless he was already on wets. If Burkhoff was going to make a move, it's right here, but he stays pretty clean through that, so I guess not. We have Cody Wasson going into the pits. Now, I am confused. We had a couple drivers that have gone up. Matt Morrison has also gone into the pits. Andrew Pickerel of the Flying Lizard Motorsports is about 9/10 off this driver ahead of him. That's Ali Raza. They are about 10 seconds off the race lead, however. So Ali Raza's also about 10 seconds off that race lead. About 9. The track does to be looking like it's clearing a little bit. And the rain will get less in the 10-minute mark. But you haven't seen a lot of drivers make the move to go to pit lane. And I don't even believe it's a requirement for this race. It's usually a requirement for the endurance race, but not for a double header. Yeah, I don't think any driver was really accounting for it. And if there was a driver that was, and like positioned themselves for that play, they had 10 plus minutes in optimum to fast. Actually, they had 15 minutes of optimum to fast track before the rain really solidified itself. So I don't think the wet setup would have been the go-to method there. At some point it would have been to be on the wets and then just keep on them, especially since it's been greasy for the last 20 minutes. But we have some expanding times from these drivers. Richie Girolman is on the attack for Andrew Pickerel there. And if you're wondering if this matters, I'll just do a quick overlay. We won't stay on it for too long, and I'll pull away as soon as it if something changes here. Oh, look at that. We already have it happening. He goes on that outside. He overtakes him. Oh, but they're side by side. Oh, no. He's ahead of him. Richie Girolman just took P4 from Andrew Pickerel. And Andrew Pickerel is in 7th place in the team standings. And I believe Richie Girolman is in 19th place in the driver standings. Richie Girolman has 29 points for the driver standings, and Andrew Pickrell has 98 points. Andrew Pickrell is 7th in the standings for the drivers' standings, and that's he's definitely battling for not only that, but for position. That's good for Richie. He was able to get ahead. We have Josh Wilson, P8. Mansilla goes into the pits. As we see, rain is going to be decreasing even further from the 3-minute mark to the 10-minute mark. Track is still greasy, but that is a let-up of rain. But the night conditions is also what is going to be affecting some people's ability to drive well. It's hard to say. I think I want to go for this. We have DeMarcus Rogers is going to be battling it out with Snyder ahead of him in P11. We have Miller in P13 right behind him. And then we have Stefan Lindauer in P14, all in a train. These 4 drivers are really pushing together. Kerstetter is pulling towards them. He's the second off of these drivers, but Ed Kerstetter is in the back of this little train of drivers. This is when consistency and pace and skill all come together, because these drivers have been showing to be just that. As I say that, DeMarcus Rogers hits the sausage curb and he loses one position to Eric Miller there, so he's going to be P13 now. This is a commentator's curse, if it's anything. As we see Ed Kerstetter going in on the inside of Stefan Lindauer, who's P14, takes the inside. You can see him in that rear view mirror. He holds this line. He's going to stick it. Ed Kerstetter with that nice calculated overtake through that first turn is going to stick this and continue. Did he switch to a wet setup, or did he drop back to dries, or maybe he just needed a fresh set, or it had aero damage? We won't know until after this race. Maybe after this race. But he is on the heels of Rogers there, and he's going to try to take him on this inside. No. Lets him have it. They go double wide, actually. And he gets ahead of him. Ed Kerstetter is coming back from the back of the pack, having gone in the pits with some set strategy. He was P5 or 6. We have Josh Willis overtaking Allen there for P7. He's now slightly ahead of him, but remember, these are 2 Porsches, so anything could happen. They are equal on the footing. Just their race setups would be a little bit different. As he gets really good defensive line, Josh Willis is going to maintain his line. That in front of them is lap traffic of a Chen. Oh no, I don't think he got out of the way enough. Gets a little bit out of the way. We have Burkhoff here. Mike Burkhoff is going to be trying to do the same thing to Allen as he does. Another overtake. That is 2 positions lost for Jay Allen there. In car number 911. As Mike Burkhoff takes P8. Willis is going to try to make some moves there. We have Kerstetter going side by side with Eric Miller here. And this is a place he wants to be. He overtakes him cleanly through that right-hander. Ed Kerstetter's making moves through this pack. He's P12, but he's looking to be P11 as he's on the heels of Jay Snyder here. He's looking to get back in that top 10. We still have 21 minutes of this race to go. Anything could happen with Ed Kerstetter's attempt to get back up there. any pitters. Little boat. We did have some people in the pits originally. Morrison has remained in the pits. I don't think he's in this race anymore. Oh, as I say that, Morrison is back on track, and Lindauer is actually going into the pits right now. Car number 2. Wow. Well, so we have a couple people in the pits. And look at that. That's another overtake for Ed Kerstetter, as Eric Miller's going to try to have a go at him. Let's see how he does. Oh, he takes that inside quickly. Can he hold it? Oh, look at that. Eric Miller taking that position from Snyder of Ness Motorsports in that Google livery. There goes the Flying Lizard ahead. Whoa! There's a little surprise for Morton Salt sitting on the side of the track there. Car number 3, Santiago Orozco, probably went a little sideways. I wasn't sure what happened there, but he said peekaboo, everybody, and that must have scared the, that must have scared them a little bit. It's a blind corner. We have Riley Manier in P20. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's Wasserman Manier. Oh. Just a little bit of a tap going through that right-hander in Sector 1, going to Sector 2. Oh. And to Sector 1. That's unfortunate. They're both safely getting back on track. Ed Kerstetter now is P10. As Josh Willis has gone into the pits. You know, I'm starting to think that these big brain strategies were pulled off at the start of the race. These drivers were on wet tires throughout this entire race and now have slowly been trickling into the pits to go on to dries. That has to be the strategy. Why else would you be going into the pits at this time? You have 17 minutes and 46 seconds left on the clock. Unless there's a mandatory pit stop, which I'm not entirely sure that's what happened here. But I could be wrong. Oh, it is a mandatory pit rule in effect. So all these drivers will have to make a pit stop in this race. So everyone that has gone into the pits, that is part of their mandatory pit stop. They did not have to change tires, add fuel, or anything else. They did, however, have to lift up and drop it back down and then go. Car number 5 is involved in an incident. What happened there? Aaron Free against Riley Manier. Let's see what happens with the Flying Lizard and Diaz Parlay. They had a lot of momentum in that first race, but now Riley is sitting in the midfield trying to maintain. You can see a little bit of oversteer there. That back end was sliding. So we have Rogers, DeMarcus Rogers, trying to have a go at Snyder. They're both going through this. Oh, Rogers a little wide, but he might be able to maintain it. No, that's actually 2 drivers that pass, or 1 driver that passes DeMarcus Rogers, and that is Josh Willis. We have Ed Kerstetter back to P10. The thing is I don't. When they do these double headers, it doesn't tell you that the mandatory pit, as we have Barrio side by side with Kerstetter here. Oh, that's damage. They just topped each other. Yikes. Kerstetter gets ahead, though, and he pulls off a P9. And there we have it. Andrew Pickrell in P4 has gone into the pits. When it's an endurance race, they can show the mandatory pit limiter on all these green colors, so you know exactly who's gone in and who's not gone in. But not having that information privy to me, I don't know exactly who's in. Oh, Kerstetter went really wide. He is now side to side with Barrio. He gets ahead of him at the end. We have Josh Willis trying to have a go at Snyder here. Doesn't make it happen, but we have Richie Girolamo is going to be going up against Andrew Pickrell, who lost a couple positions. He was P4, now he's P7. Oh, P8 now. Richie Girolamo got ahead of him. But I don't think I've seen the Adidas Parlay team pit at all. So with 14 minutes left to go, it could be more of a undercut scenario for some drivers. And that is Stefan Lindauer playing some mind games against Riley Minier. Track is still greasy, but this rain is about to end, and it's going to be cloudy from there. Whoa. That Lexus somehow managed to go over that sausage curb and stick it. This isn't gymnastics, but he did it. We got DeMarcus Rogers going against Snyder here. Looks like he's about half a... oh, no. I spoke too soon. Look at this. We have Eric Miller and Josh Willis. They are, with Josh Willis ahead, a clean overtake and going through Sector 3. Eric Miller lost out, now P12. Whoa! That is Snyder out in the cold there on the runoff. He is dropping down the leaderboard. We'll know shortly what position that guy landed in, as DeMarcus Rogers is ahead of him. So he's probably P15 or 16. Oh. He's still P13? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, look at that. He's still ahead of Ray Frias. So then... and Ray Frias went to the pits. That's why it happened. Did Ed just make up 7 seconds in 2 laps? Let's take a look. His last was a 144.1. And off the time of Andrew Pickrell, who went into the pits, he's a second off of him. And there's still another... I'm going to guess, because McConnell, McKeesey have not gone in the pits. Neither has Raza or Havenborn or Burkhoff. I don't believe Allen has either. I think the only drivers that Kerstetter is in contention with right now is Pickrell and Girolamo, who I believe has... Pickrell did pit. I know Pickrell went into the pits, but I don't think Burkhoff, Crow, Raza, McKees... I don't think anyone in the top 5 have gone into the pits. I don't think Allen's gone into the pits. And then I don't think Girolamo might have gone into the pits. But I don't think he did. The way it would make sense to me is that Kerstetter is 50 seconds away from the race lead right now, which an average pit takes around 25 to 30 seconds, depending on what you're doing. Even if you're just going into the pits, lifting up and down, and somehow you have a bad start. So him being another 20 seconds off of the race lead itself makes more sense, because he was P4 when he did go in the start, when he actually went his mandatory pit. We have Rogers still on the attack here. Let's see what's got. Lindauer and Minier have been fighting side by side for a while now. he goes in on the inside. Is not far enough along. Yeah, 10 minutes and 27 seconds left to go. Cloudy skies all around. Track temps are 20, but the track is optimum now, so we're going to be seeing people start to try to make some moves if their tires aren't completely warped. Oh, so we have Crow going ahead. Ali Raza has gone into the pits. Crow is going to stay out. And that goes Mike Burkhoff into P4. Jeff Allen into P5. And Andrew Pickrell is going to be right alongside Ali Raza, but has more speed than him, so he's going to get a good overtake there. He's going to be holding P7 with Kersetter shortly behind, with about a 1.5 second gap from those drivers. See, Rogers has gone into the pits. Engelman is still in the points against Ray Fries here. Aaron Free, he qualified 4th, if I believe correctly. And he is on the attack of Wassam here. Hey, Coach Dave Academy. That's an official sponsor of the Tracklisha Sim Racing there for you. No, maybe not. But Aaron Free is 1/10 off this driver, and it's... You think he might make a move shortly. He's got the pace to do so. We have Aaron Free with a 143.5 as his last lap, and Wassam was a 144.6. So he's already a full second faster than this driver that's pulling off a great defense. And as it stands, McKeezy is definitely going to try to have to go for an... He's going to have to pit first if he wants to maybe get that undercut on McConnell, because McConnell still has not gone into the pits with 7 minutes left to go. You'd think you'd do this quicker, or I mean, well, you still have some time to gain back that position. There's Aaron Free ahead of Wassam as Riley Manier tries to have a go at him on the inside. And that is 2 drivers that are going to go ahead of Cody Wassam through one move. That is Aaron Free in P17. Riley Manier in P18, Wassam P19, and Lindauer. Now that is a driver we're going to take a look at here. He is P20. He's got 2 drivers on his right-hand side of him. One's on the back end, actually. He overtakes Wassam. Wassam loses 3 positions to these drivers that are in this train. But you can see Wassam's on the attack. He's not letting go. And it looks like Lindauer's trying to flash his lights to get some psychological warfare. Is he going to go on the inside? Nope. You can clearly see that he's giving it the gas right there. Still flashing him. Not close enough. Now these these markers, these back markers still matter because this is all for points. Anyone that is not in the top 20 will not receive points for the race, as well as their team standings. So this is enough. Even now, it looks like a little bit of lag there from that driver, but not too much. Lindauer takes the outside. He falls right back in the line there. There you have it. We have Mitch McConnell of Pfaff Motorsports, who was in P1, is now coming out of the pit lane. And that is Daniel Cass, lastly, in the pits as well, who's probably just remained there because it doesn't look like he's gone anywhere. That's Crow Havenborn into the pits. Mike Burkhoff into the pits. Jeff Allen also into the pit lane. That is going to hold McKeesey ahead by 25 seconds. Just the right amount of time for him to somehow still make the race lead. As long as he goes out on that next lap into the pit lane, he's got to make a lot of time up here. Because Mitch McConnell, his closest driver is Richie Drolleman, who's in P3, and he's 15 seconds off of Mitch McConnell. And then Andrew Pickrell here is in P4, and he's a second and a half off of Drolleman. As now we see a really interesting train happen. Raza. So we have Drolleman, Pickrell, Raza, Kerstetter, all drivers fighting for 3, 4, 5, and 6 right now. And they are in it. As Josh Willis is P7. He's 16 seconds off of P6. So I don't think he's going to be anywhere in the contention, but at least he's going to have his little spree, as he has drivers that are on the back end of him as well. We have Crow Havenborn of Ness Motorsports is just above these drivers, Jeff Allen, Mike Burkhoff, and Eric Miller, who are all tenths off of each other. As Zuri Racing getting in the mix. That is a blue flag scenario, but it doesn't look like he is going to make light of what's going on. He's going to maintain his line. As Allen goes ahead. And look at that. Already, these drivers went through the pit lane. McKeesey did not make any time up on that last lap. We had Mitch McConnell back in P1 with no contention as he strolled by that pit lane and is going to be holding the race lead. We still have these drivers. Ed Kerstetter is on the heels of Ali Raza. With a minute and 50 seconds left to go, if anyone was going to make a move, it's within this time frame. You just hope they don't do something that would destroy the race for both drivers. As they are side by side going through this corner. Is he going to stick it? Ed Kerstetter goes ahead of Ali Raza, but he needs to pull ahead on this next corner. And it looks like they're side to side still. If he can get through that... Oh, there he goes. Ed Kerstetter now holds P5 with a nice exit. There he goes. So we have Jeff Allen trying to make the same trick happen as Mike Burkhoff is on the heels of him. Crow has to defend against two drivers who both want better position. This is the final lap here. We're coming to a close. Mitch McConnell leads this with McKeesley right behind him. And Geralman in front of him in P3. Gonna see Aaron Free go ahead of Ray Frias here. Maybe he's gonna try to pull it off. They still have one more lap to go. If Ray can't defend now, it's gonna be pretty bleak for him. He's gonna be P17. Looks like he has some good lines on defense. Aaron's got a good exit though. He's gonna probably hold this toe, but McLarens are fast. Look at him block. Great job by Ray holding Free back there.
The leader has finished the race.
And there you have it. Ed Cursor is still battling it out. Mitch McConnell finishes the race. He is P1. McKeesley, P2. Richie Geralman is P3. As they cross the line, we have Andrew Pickerel going to be P4. Ed Kersetter's P5. Raza's P6. Josh Willis, he's 18 seconds down, but he's going to be finishing this race in P7, barring any issues here. We have Crow leading these two other drivers, Allen and Burkhoff. They are side by side. Can he do something here? It doesn't look like Burkhoff's going to have the room to make it happen. He doesn't. That's P8 for Havenborn, P9 for Allen, P10 for Burkhoff. Miller is going to be crossing this line shortly as he takes that final left-hander. He's going to be P11. Barrio's going to definitely hold P12 as he has no contention around him. Snyder, another driver that has Rogers behind him. 3/10 off that driver. Let's see if he's able to just keep it and maintain it. He's going to probably hold P13 here. We won't call it too early. There goes P13 for Snyder, P14 for Rogers. Honorud Sundar crosses the line at P15. And then Riley Manier is going across that line very shortly, and he's going to be P16. Constable Cody Wasserman, P17, ahead of Ray Frias in P18. Aaron Free. Oh, that is still in the points, buddy. Better slide that thing right back into that straight line. He is going to take P18. Jet Engelman's P19, Bravo 20, King 21, Mansilla 22, Cornotis P23, Chen 24, Orozco 25, and Cass Lassie 26. There you have it, folks. Let's see if what's cracking. Who do we have here? McConnell, McKeesley, Geralman. I don't know if any of these drivers. Let's see if we can't get them in for a quick one. Hey, Richie, you took P3. Great job, man. Great points for Adidas Parlay.
Yes.
I forgot that you guys had to do that mandatory pit, but did you just stay on dries the entire time? What was your strategy?
Yeah. You know, we noticed that it started raining. It really wasn't getting that wet, so we figured just stay on dries as long as we can, and then it started drying up, and it worked out.
That's some strategy. It worked out, and great job for you guys, and great job for yourself. I mean, now you're going to be Andrew Pickerel. You had a little battle with him, but he is a driver
that was an awesome race.
Yeah, he's ahead of you in the driver's standing, so it's good to see that you're going to be pulling some points ahead of him. And, you know, overall, great job for Adidas Parlay. You guys did a 1-2 last race, and now you have at least a P3 from this. Southern Star Motorsports definitely had some diminishing aspects to the race for them this go around, so it's unfortunate to see that they might lose, drop down a little bit. But great job, Richie. It's a great race.
Thank you. Hey, my first 2 podiums were tonight ever. So
well, congratulations, P2 and P3.
League, so. Yep. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And you know we have another one. It's McKeesley. the upset. I think I saw you in the last race briefly, and you had great pace, strong quality, and you were able to maintain that. And you try to do an undercut at the end of the race on Mitch McConnell. It didn't end up working out, but still, what a great performance from you, and the consistency was there to be P1. How do you feel?
Well, first of all, I'm tired. Second of all, yeah, it was, man, that second race was something. We were just on your guy who's Alvarez, who was just, oh wait, not Alvarez, sorry, you're Alvarez.
McConnell.
Guy who was in before McConnell. Was McConnell in before? Nice. Yeah, I was just on the comm with the teams like, okay, we're seeing it's greasy. If it goes damp, we got to put on wets. We keep waiting. We see the plus for the clouds with like 40 minutes left. Like, yeah, it's going to have to switch to wets. And it just doesn't happen. And the car was just uncontrollable. And that was kind of the thing, right, was in some moments McConnell was better in the conditions, and then it would change a little bit, and I would have better laps. It was a really interesting sort of back and forth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I definitely saw that you were faster than him at some points, but he was able to maintain a good race control over the car in general.
Yeah, I got ahead of him for a brief moment, but it just I couldn't break free from it either, so it didn't work out. But yeah, it was great. He undercut me. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and get the end there. I was like, I'm going to try and get in some fast laps on the hot tires because the tires warmed up at the end, and I was like, he's going to have cold tires. Didn't work out. I got a second, but I needed 2 seconds, so that was it.
Yeah, I mean, what a great race, though. I mean, is it your first finish in this league with a pole setting?
Yeah. This is I was here last year, but never got this far up the order. This is the best I've done.
Well,
thus far. Yeah.
Congratulations, McKeesley. You did great. Great points for Ness Motorsports, and congratulations again, P2. That's got to feel great, and awesome race. We definitely saw that you got that overtake on McConnell, but he was able to pull it back, and overall we can't wait to see what you do next Sunday.
Yeah, Nest is coming, baby. Nest is coming.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate the commentating. I'll see you around.
Yep. And that's it, everybody. If you like the commentary, like the league, like what we're doing here, we have the next GT3 series race 4 will be on next Sunday, and then we will have that'll be at the same time. We have our schedule set up, and then this week we have on Thursday we will have the GT4 series, and that's a really exciting series because people play really close to the vest and really close driving. You get a lot more, crazy things happening in that series. This will show up on Tuesday, I believe, for the review. So if you want to see it on YouTube in the HD quality, not a Twitch version, we do the HD quality on YouTube on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. So thanks again and appreciate it. Everybody coming out. All right.